Hello and welcome to Biz Buzz with Bruno, presented by Mads Theater. I'm your host, Michael Bruno. Welcome to the new year, to our first episode of January in 2026. And today we have two guests from Oracular Studios, Michael and Julia. Thank you for coming today.
Thanks you very much.
So let's start with Julia. Tell us a little bit about yourself so that people get to know who you are.
Sure. So I'm originally from Grand Rapids, Michigan. I moved to Madison in about 2022, and I got involved with the Madison theater community first actually as a director. I directed for Falcon Bridge in 2023. And then I worked with Madison Shakespeare Company, and I was in Oracular's production with Madison Public Theater of the Collier Brothers play last year. And then earlier this season, I was in Hamlet with Mercury Players Theater, and now I'm doing this.
So you are obviously, you multidisciplines. Which do you prefer, do you think? Do you prefer acting or you prefer directing?
Right now, I think I prefer acting. I do enjoy directing, though. It's fun to kind of be on that side of the table and on that side of bringing everything together. But I think right now, at this time in my life, I prefer acting.
And is there different kinds of ways you have to prepare for that? Obviously.
Oh yeah, totally. With directing, you kind of have, you're covering everything, and then with acting, you're mainly looking at your own role and how the role that you're playing in the show, whereas with directing, you're playing the role of the director, but then you're also, you've got your hand in like all the different buckets, just, bringing everything together.
And in your directing experience, were these productions that you thought you wanted to do, or did somebody ask you if you wanted to direct?
So Falcon Bridge approached me, and I agreed, and then actually, I'm going to be assistant directing for Madison Theater Guild later this season for The Butter and Eggman. And I approached the director, Emma Sorensen, who's a good friend of mine, for that, and said, "Hey, can I join you with this?" And she said, "Yeah."
So for this particular show, which we'll get into a little bit more, you're one of the actors. Right, wonderful. Perfect. We'll get right back to you.
All right.
So, Michael, tell me about you, since I haven't seen you since Iolanthe.
Yes. It's been a little bit. Yes. So I started out acting and as like a kid, and then I went to school at the UW for theater and music. And I fell under the mentorship of Thomas Kasdorf and Professor Paul Rowe and some other professors with the theater department. And then I graduated in 2020. And I didn't do any theater for about 4 years because of the obvious reasons.
Hello, COVID.
Yeah. And then I was in Virginia, and I realized I wanted to move back to Madison. And so I did that, and I reached out to Thomas Kasdorf. I was like, "Hey, do you need an assistant director for Steel Magnolias?" And that became my foot in the door. Back into Madison Theater. And from there, I got involved with The Untold Story of the Collier Brothers, which was Madison Public. And then after that, oh goodness, I did a tiny little role, a little bit part in the University Opera's production of Songbird, which is it was like a jazz opera of sorts, a jazz operetta. I got into the voice program for voice and opera at the UW-Madison, and I study with Julia Rottmeyer, Professor Julia Rottmeyer, right now. I started work on a Falcon Bridge reading of Cyrano de Bergerac, A House Not Meant to Stand with Madison Public Theater, Iolanthe, another Falcon Bridge reading of Scapan, The Marriage of Figaro with University Opera, and now I am here directing this.
So now, how many other shows have you directed? I know you as an actor and a singer with opera, but have you directed previously?
I've only directed, well, I've done assistant directing a few times. I assistant directed Evil Dead the Musical at my university with Jace Nichols, and I assistant directed Steel Magnolias, and I directed a student production. We went up 2 weeks before everything shut down from COVID, Ghost Quartet by Dave Malloy, which is a piece of music and a piece of theater that's very close to my heart. And that went up actually Valentine's weekend of 2020. So we're going to be approaching the 6-year anniversary of that. And that was a beautiful experience. I believe Dave Malloy's mother followed me on Twitter briefly for it.
Cool.
Yeah, but that was my first time directing, but I haven't been able to do it since then. And so when I moved back to Madison, I was like thinking about like, what can I do? What can I propose to get my foot in the door and direct again? Because I had so much fun with it. It was so rewarding. It just made my heart full whenever I was able to do something like that.
So I'm going to ask you the same question. So obviously, you've had much more experience with being on stage.
Yes.
Do you find that it fulfills you in a different way when you're actually going to be directing something, or because you have so much experience with musical theater and with opera?
Yeah, it does. I mean, both are fulfilling, both are fun. But they use like different parts of my brain.
Mm-hmm.
To me, directing, I get nervous like in a very different way, because I'm like leaning in my chair, I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh gosh, I hope they do well. Yes. And I get to just have to like make myself relax and like chill out and like trust people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of what it is like this ability as a director to trust your cast is the reward, is the trust. I think that's part of what it is. There's a lot to it though. It's also this like very like cut your heart open and like leave it on the which obviously you do that as an actor or as a singer too, but yeah.
I think the hardest part for me is like when you actually get to the opening night, your job is then done.
Yeah.
You have no more control over this product that you nurtured from auditions or even before auditions.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you're acting in something, you have the entire run of the show. To keep that energy going, that you can tweak this, or that audience was great, or that audience was terrible, or I would never want to do this again, or I wish we had another weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's always my dilemma with is letting go when the baby is still being birthed, kind of growing. That's always been a conundrum for me. It's like having done both, acting things and directing. That's always been the toughest part. Is letting go before the time to let go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's like, I remember like doing theater as a kid, and like the directors would always watch every show because they'd be needed for every show. And then like getting into college, and the first production I ever did in college, I remember the director was there for like the first show, and then another one on the second weekend, and another one on the third weekend. But for a lot of it, we didn't see the director very much after that. And that's like totally normal and professional.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like something that was like, I get it. There's certainly some directors out there who that might be like a difficult thing to watch a show, every single show. I plan on seeing every single one of our shows.
I always do that.
Yeah.
I want to see as many. I want to see the audience reaction.
Yes.
I want to see, and I also want obviously you hand it over to your stage manager, because the stage manager becomes the king or the queen of everything. So if you have a great stage manager and you entrust it to that person.
Yes.
But you always think, I don't have to do any of the work now. I just get to watch the reaction, get to watch how the audience is enjoying it, and to watch the little nuances that as the cast gets to know each other,
Yes.
and have more fun because of the onus of that dress rehearsal as being a nightmare, and your opening night has all that adrenaline, and you get to watch how the show progresses and how the people within the cast become this amazing family.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the most, when I've directed previously, that's one of the most rewarding things for me as a director, is getting to watch the cast have just a blast on stage, and then watch the audience watch them have a blast. So that's definitely one of the most rewarding things for me as a director.
I honestly can't agree more.
Yeah.
It's like it is so like, it makes my heart full. It's like,
look, there's my friends, they're having fun.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you kind of wish I was up there with them. They're having all the fun. I'm sitting there watching them have all the fun.
Yeah, honestly.
So, Julia, tell me a little bit more about 12 Angry Jurors.
Yeah, so we are doing a mixed gender cast for this. So originally it is known as 12 Angry Men, as people will probably know from the movie versions that are out there. And so what I've really loved about this show is that there's 12 cast members. We're all on stage the whole time. We all get to share the whole show together, and that's been really, really fun. For me personally, I'm sure a lot of the other cast members would agree with me on that. We have a great group. And yeah, it's essentially what happens when you put 12 people from different backgrounds into a room and ask them to come up with a unanimous verdict on this trial.
And you are playing juror number 8, which
I
is
am.
the crucial, critical person in the entire.
I'm the
whole
inciting
show
incident.
hinges on you, right?
Yes. 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 So juror 8 is during the first vote, the only person to vote not guilty. Everyone else in the room votes guilty, and then it then becomes, I don't want to say her job, but then it falls on her shoulders essentially to try and help the rest of this room see things from the way she is seeing them, to look at things that they might have glossed over, and to really acknowledge the humanity of the boy whose fate they are determining.
Have you ever sat on a jury yourself?
I have not. I've been called one time. Or I received the summons one time. I was never actually called. I like to say it's on account of my mom being a social worker. So when I tell them that, they're like, maybe not.
Interesting.
I don't know for sure though,
okay.
but I like to make that joke. But yeah, so I've never actually sat on a jury before.
Well, I have a piece of advice for you. If
Okay.
you ever do have to sit in a jury, do not be an alternate. It
Okay.
is the worst job in the world because you have to sit through everything and list everything, but you don't get to vote.
Oh,
Yeah.
The 2 times that I've done, both times they picked me as an alternate. I was like, I will make up something so horrible.
okay.
I'm going to watch here. It's like, it's I
Okay.
hate all these people. I hate you. I
Yeah.
hate everything. But it is the most thankless job because you literally
Sure.
have to sit through everything,
Oof.
and then you don't get to go into the deliberation room. So you're wondering how they're going to do. What are they going to say?
Right.
And you have no voice on it. And it's
Okay.
like,
Okay.
really?
I will keep that in mind.
Keep that in mind. Yeah, keep that in mind.
I'm
because-
just picturing right now, like putting juror number 8 as an alternate, and I think that would just be
She
like,
would explode.
Yeah,
Oh my
that
gosh.
sounds agonizing.
She would
It is.
explode as
Yeah.
the character. Yeah.
Gosh.
No, she would hate that.
I would-
Actually, one of our actors, Donovan Armbruster, who's
Oh,
playing
yes.
juror number 3, he got the summons
Yeah,
While you were in
yeah.
rehearsal?
while we're in
Oh, that's
rehearsals.
funny.
He was. I think they said that he would like get deferred, or he didn't have to go.
Yeah, but it was funny because he brought his envelope with his summons to rehearsal one day and just handed it to our stage manager, and she was like, "What is this?" And he was like, "Open it."
You know what's funny, Julia, is that I don't know if I told you this. The weekend of auditions, I got called.
Oh,
for
that's
jury
right.
duty.
You did
Oh,
mention this.
But I'm from Illinois, so I got called at the same exact time as my mother.
Oh, in
So we
Illinois.
both get called, yeah, because I think they were just going down the roll or something. Either that, or it was just an astronomical coincidence.
Yeah,
And
probably.
so I was like, well, I need to take this seriously because otherwise I'm the biggest hypocrite in the world if I don't take jury duty serious. But I filled out the thing and I was like,
I don't
can't.
live.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
because I don't live in the state. You're not looking for me. I don't know why you think I live in the state.
That's
But-
so funny.
Because
Yeah.
they usually do by your driver's license.
Oh.
So did you still have an Illinois driver's license?
Oh no, not for a while. Not
See,
for a
that's
while.
interesting. I wonder why your name's removed from the juror selection poll.
Yeah, it's
That's
been
weird.
removed for a little while. I mean, now I'm talking about my legal history. Shouldn't do that publicly.
That's okay. Nobody's watching. So tell me now, does this actually follow the movie script as well, or are there modifications that have been made
There's modifications. I mean,
on the fact that obviously you have different genders and different ethnicities?
yeah. So there's 2 different versions of the
Mhm.
script. One of them is like the move. Sorry, I say there's 2 different versions. In reality, there's at least 6
Oh my
different
gosh.
versions.
Oh.
There's probably more. The original script is a 30-minute teleplay. Then there's the movie script.
Right.
Yeah, there's the movie script then there is this script, that one that we're using, which is a script that was developed for use by theater companies around the country. And then there's another, like, I think, equity theater company script that you can also use that's a little bit closer to the movie script. And then you have the 12 Angry Women script.
Ah, right,
which,
right.
in order to put together ours, we had to take the 12 Angry Women script and the 12 Angry Men script. And Taylor, who's the stage manager, she and I sat across from each other, and we just like went through the script and read it and tried to create like, which is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to combine the two.
Right.
And do they allow you to do that? Do the rights,
Yes, that is in the rights.
allow you to combine scripts like that?
Yeah, if you look at the opening couple pages, they say like, if you want to do 12 Angry Jurors, you just use the scripts from both 12 Angry Women and 12 Angry Men, and you put them together.
Because it changes depending on whether or not you cast, like who you cast in each juror role.
Yeah.
Right.
So like for our version, we have women playing 4, 6, 8, and 12. But theoretically, you could have, women playing any of the roles and men playing any of the roles. So depending on the combination, that's going to change what you pull from the 12 Angry Women script.
Yeah. There's a few, there's like quite a few actually major differences between our script and the movie script that people know. Aside from that, the most iconic thing that I can think of is in the movie, juror number 7 is he's got tickets to a baseball game tonight, and the baseball game gets rained out because it starts raining during the movie, you know. And in our script, juror number 7 wants to go to a Broadway show. That's a pretty significant one. The ending is different. The final couple pages,
only slightly.
Only slightly,
yeah.
But it's different enough that you'll
notice it. Yeah.
There's little tiny details throughout. I feel like, there's also just like our script is, and I say this in actually a way that I very much value. Our script that we're using is feels colder at times and more clinical and like focused on the exact facts of what's happening, whereas like in the movie, there's a little bit more of a broadness that I feel from the script. But this is just, I try to stay away from the movie script.
I haven't watched the movie in so long.
Same.
Because I don't want to. I don't want to.
And then, do you have a say-so on time and place? Or does it dictate to you that it has to be in a certain era and in a certain...
Actually, it's funny that you ask that. It says that juror number 7 has tickets to a Broadway show.
Right.
And depending on when you want to set the script, you have to choose whatever's big on Broadway.
It actually says in the script, like, pick Broadway show that is popular.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
And so I think it is like, to an extent, I think the script does encourage people to really decontextualize it a little bit.
There's nothing, I don't think, in the script itself that says this city this year. That directs you to
that,
yeah.
The subtext is that it's either like it's New York, probably. It could also be Chicago.
Somewhere that has elevated trains.
Yes,
because we talk about elevated trains a lot.
Right.
And I mean, you can really get nitpicky about some of the details there. Like I was thinking about like, well, which states have the death penalty, and like which states have elevated trains in cities, and so like really. Like you could do Philadelphia, you could do, I think there's an elevated train system in Texas or something. I don't know. There's way more than you would think. But in my mind, I always think of it as being in like Chicago or New York City, preferably Chicago, because I am more familiar with Chicago.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing really that we say either that specifies what city it takes place in. We kind of joke that it has this like almost Shakespearean quality where you know where you can set a anytime any place, even though in some shows they do say like this is taking place in this city, but but like there are modern adaptations of Shakespeare plays, and so this kind of has a similar element. It's not exactly the same, but kind of similar.
I think like just if I were to recommend the audience like walk in and like have a place in mind, picture Chicago, but also just be willing to go with the flow.
Time is vaguely now.
Yeah, the time is now.
It's probably like in this century, right?
Yeah.
So you don't like do it like back in the 50s.
Oh no.
So you as a time period piece.
No.
This is the thing I told the cast when we started was this is in 2025. I guess it's 2026
26.
now. But you know what? Back then it was 2025.
We started rehearsing in 2025.
Yeah,
It's sitting here for 6
contemporary.
months now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So vague, the broad now.
Yeah, and I did want to really stress, like, it is now. It's not 2024. It is now, for lack of a better way of putting it.
So tell me a little bit more about the other people that are in the show. You mentioned Donovan Armbruster's in it, and
Mhm.
who are some of the other actors that are in the show?
We've
Wanna go down the
got
line?
yes, Edric Johnson is
Edric.
our foreman. He's a blast. He's so
He's
funny.
so funny.
Finn Gallagher is juror number 2. Finn is also quite funny in that role, and he's also found a depth to juror number 2 that I didn't see before, and it's really
Everybody's take
it.
on their characters is just so good. It's so much
Yeah.
fun.
Rhiannon Talbot
We skipped-
is
we said Donovan already.
we talked about
Sorry.
Donovan. Rhiannon Talbot is juror number 4. Eva V. Hernandez White is juror number 5. Juror number 6 is Heidi Wentz. Juror number 7 is Dylan Sheehan, who's also our set designer, and kind of like one of our publicity people and producers.
Mhm.
Wears many hats.
Yes,
Dylan.
Many hats.
always the juggler. Dylan is. Juror number 8 is Julia.
Hello.
Juror number 9 is the legendary Carl Stoll.
Oh yes, Carl,
Yes, who
wow.
I was fortunate enough to play across the stage from in both Collier Brothers and in House Not Meant to Stand. He played my father in House Not Meant to Stand. One of the just coolest shows I've ever been able to. But anyway, juror number 10 is Nikki Shear. Juror number 10, if you don't remember, is the racist. There's like elements of racism in
He's the most
entire
vocal
cast.
about it, though.
Yeah.
He's very, very vocal about it, and he goes on this massive monologue at the very end of the play. Nikki is quite young, and traditionally, juror number 10 is an older person. But this is 2025. This is a 2026 production of 12 Angry Jurors, and juror number 10, in my mind, is much younger now. Juror number 11 is played by Brian Johnson. He is interpreting the character. Juror number 11 is an immigrant. He's interpreting the character as somebody who left the Soviet Union before the collapse. And
I
it's
don't
been,
think I knew that.
yeah.
I knew he was vaguely Eastern European,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't think I knew that specifically. That's super cool.
Brian is was a professor of Russian studies, and he comes with this massive wellspring of knowledge about his character, because even his character gets uncomfortable with the draft from the window,
From the open window.
and he wants to switch chairs. And one of the cool things about that was we sit down during table work, and he says, this draft, there's like a
it's like a
superstition.
cultural thing.
Yeah, it's a
it's a
cultural
cultural
superstition,
superstition against like drafts from open windows.
Yeah, and that's part of why I think he's uncomfortable. So Brian's just got this massive background. And then, of course, Sarah Kendall.
Last but certainly not
Last
least.
but certainly not least. She is absolutely
As
hilarious.
juror number 12.
She is absolutely...
She cracks me up.
Juror number 12 is the
every
ad
time.
man, or the ad woman in this case.
Ad woman.
yes.
She's in advertising.
She's
Yeah,
an
she's in advertising.
She does this.
They're in advertising. Take all the genders out. They're in advertising.
Well, and juror number 12 is just an absolute hoot.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, do you know or have you created real names for them besides their numbers? Is that I know in some scripts they have identified first names, and some of them I've seen just you only refer to them as their number.
So
What-
Michael left that up to us individually as a cast. I have not. I don't know if anyone else has.
Some of them have, yes.
Okay.
I will keep who has chosen
Yeah,
names
don't give
secret,
that away.
just because I don't want
okay.
that to influence your the audience's perception of what work each person has done, because everyone's done a ton of work.
Yeah.
It's just everyone's method is different, right?
And that's a credit to you, because Michael really let us he was like, here are some base questions to start with, maybe thinking about your character, but then he really let us, put in whatever we wanted to do and to bring out whatever we wanted to from the character. So each person's, backstory or background for the character that they've developed. The specifics of that, some of it is in the script, but some of it, you know, we come up with on our own as actors, and everyone has kind of a different spin on how they've gone into that, which I think is really a credit to you. And then we bring all of those takes together.
I mean, I'd feel guilty if we did it any other way.
It's very individual.
Yeah.
I feel like with this play, it's very individual of how, you know, how much you're developing for your character and how close you feel. Like I relate a lot to juror number 8. I see a lot of myself in her, but there are also ways that she handles certain situations in the play that I was like, I'm never gonna, I would never do that.
I mean, the thing that you said about juror number 8 is that always sticks in my head is that she's a pot stirrer.
Oh my gosh. I didn't realize, well, and I think this is just because going into our script, the only version I'd seen was the original movie version with Henry Fonda, who is very stoic as juror number 8. So then I'm reading our text, and I don't know if the script is just different or whatever, but juror 8 is like poking people.
Yeah.
Like you get later into the play, the more she's poking at certain people.
And that kind of makes sense too,
Yeah.
because I'm not going to give away anything, but you know, she's responsible for changing people's minds.
Yeah.
But like
So she has to be the pot stirrer.
I don't think I realized to the extent to which she's trying to get under people's skin, and that's been really fun to kind of explore.
One of my favorite moments in the play is at the end of Act 2. There is a, shall we say, a conflict in between juror number 8 and juror number 3. And I like to imagine that there are 3 major antagonists in the play. There is juror number 4, Rhiannon Talbot, who is the very logical, I'd say like, very emblematic of certain status quo ideas within our society.
Yeah.
And she also is following things to what she sees as the letter of the law. And she also views herself as the most intelligent person in the room. And she's dead set convinced on this kid being guilty. There's juror number 10, who's the second antagonist in my mind, who's the racist kid who just keeps on running his mouth. And then there's juror number 3, Donovan's character, who's a father who has had his son walk out on him, and who has this sort of like bubbling grudge inside of him that festers and turns toxic over the years. And he brings that into the room, and he wants to treat this kid the same way that he wants to treat his son in a way. I mean, exactly how you want to interpret it is up to you, and it's also up to Donovan. But 3 is really the last holdout in the movie and in the play. That is the same, and you come into conflict with him
quite a bit.
And there's a moment where you really like dig into him to try and get a certain reaction out of him, and you get that exact reaction, and it's like you've completely trapped him.
Yeah. And anyone who knows Donovan knows that he's such a nice person, right? But we spend most of the show glaring at each other. But yeah, it's genuinely so fun to work with him on those little, because I think 3 is the one that 8 kind of needles the most. And it's been very fun to work with him on those moments of conflict.
Yeah, there's just like this, the depth of that like on stage relationship is so incredible, and I'm so proud of it.
Oh, thanks, Michael.
And are you in the jury, or are you in the Eview downstairs?
We're in the Eview,
so it's a lot more intimate then.
Oh yes. We're going in the round.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we have a really interesting setup planned for the stage. It's going to be, however intimate, if you're not familiar, for anyone who's listening, with the Eview, it's a black box theater, and it is so small that you could whisper and be heard by the audience. It's this beautiful space. It's one of my favorite theaters.
Well, and I think I remember, I don't know if you remember saying this, but I remember when you were first talking about pitching this show, it was during the Untold Story of the Collier Brothers, and you mentioned, I'm just picturing the table in this space, the table that they all sit at,
Mhm.
and how like close everyone will be to that table. I don't know if you remember saying that, but I remember you saying it.
I remember. Well, yeah, I think I do remember that a little bit. Or I talked about it a lot because that was the point where when I started working on the untold story of the Collier brothers, you didn't ask a question about this, but I'll tell you the story
No,
anyway.
go right ahead.
I was talking with people, some of my friends, when I first started work at the beginning of our rehearsal process. I was like, I want to propose a show to a theater company around here to do in the Bartel, and I don't know what I'm going to do. And so I'm talking with some of my friends, and one of them is like, well, you could do a courtroom thing, because I didn't want to do a love story. I didn't want to do something that was action based. A courtroom show, though, that would be interesting. What are some courtroom shows I could do? And I'm thinking, and I'm thinking, and I'm thinking, and then all of the sudden, I have this memory of seeing a high school production of 12 Angry Jurors, and I'm like, of course. I love this script so much. Why don't we do that? So I start like dropping hints to people. I drop hints to Julia in the dressing rooms, in the Avenue, and I'm like, can you imagine it in this tiny theater? And what the Avenue itself was already like, it's already not a large theater. What we're doing,
We're making it smaller.
is we're making it
Mhm.
smaller
Mhm.
for the show.
You kind of have to if you're doing it in the round.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you lose a lot of the
Yep.
you lose a lot of the seats
Mhm.
depth wise if you're doing it just as presentational.
Yeah.
Well,
So
and
it's
I think that works too, because then suddenly the audience become the walls to the room that we're in. And that'll be just super immersive
Yeah.
for them, and
Like,
really great.
it also allows you as an audience member to get such a unique perspective. Like, you might get something different. You might get a different experience from the person sitting next
Yeah.
to you,
Oh, sure.
because the sight lines change every like inch you move in one
Mhm.
direction or another. Not to mention, like, if you're on a completely different bank, I don't want to completely spoil it, but like there are,
Mm-hmm.
if you sit in one spot, you get a very specific performance, and you get to see jurors have secrets and exchanges and little character moments that bloom, that nobody else gets to see,
Mhm.
perhaps. And then if you sit somewhere else, you also get that experience. And if you sit somewhere else, you also get that experience. And everything is unique. And honestly, we don't have enough tickets for everyone to see the show 4 times, but I really wish that everyone got the chance to see the show 4 times, because I think that's what it takes to really really see how deep
everything
it is.
that's going. I mean, people are doing stuff on stage that like I don't know what they're
No,
doing on
yeah.
stage, because I'm busy doing my
Well, sure.
my track. And
I-
again, that's such a credit to our cast, because they're really like digging into
Mhm.
to what's going on and how they're interacting with everyone else. Can't say enough good things about this group.
Oh yeah, it really is that's the reason to do the show, is to have a cast that gets along and works together in this exact way.
Mhm.
It's amazing.
It's so fun.
And I'm just really excited for people to see every single one of these interpretations bloom. Yeah.
Cool. And you open when? Soon. Yes.
January 22nd, in about 2 weeks.
There it is. January
Yeah.
22nd through February 1st.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
And there it is.
We open on a Thursday. 8 shows total. So not as many shows as you usually see in the Bartel. So it's like, and we only have 60 tickets available per show. So it really is like very much like get them while you can.
While you can.
Yeah.
And they're on sale now at the Bartel?
Yes,
Bartel
they are
Theater
on the website.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh, I was going to ask you. So is this all ages, or do you prefer it to be adult? What's your take on the context for the show?
If you were to like have somebody who's younger a youth come, is there anything that's like deeply inappropriate that happens? No. But the topic, the subject matter,
Right.
is mature enough that and serious enough and deep enough that I would personally suggest like have if you're gonna have like a teenager there, make sure that they're mature,
Well, and like I'd say kids can come, but
Yeah.
like it just be willing to have conversations about stuff, because they might have questions.
Yeah.
Um,
And make sure that they are able to stay in their seats, because this is a show that once it starts, it does not stop.
It's not long, but
Mhm.
it does move,
Yeah.
and we move around a lot.
And you are really close to the actors. This is
Yeah,
a
that's
four-dimensional experience.
4-dimensional. I wouldn't say that, Michael, but
No, I guess not. But to really stress exactly how close you are to the actors, like, I'm gonna be telling people, like, you better go to the bathroom beforehand.
yeah,
No, but is it one act?
it's just one
It's
act.
just one
Yeah.
act. Yeah.
Approximate
Technically-
runtime 80 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
80 minutes is exactly right. Technically it's 3 acts, but we decided to truncate that and make it one
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
The script is broken up into 3 acts. But...
Yes. Yeah.
'Cause my bit of trivia is my freshman year in high school, we did a production of it.
Oh, really?
And that was back in the 70s.
Who did you
Oh,
play?
I was juror number 8.
Oh, look at
Let's
that.
go.
And it was only because back in that time, when I was a freshmen weren't allowed to do the high school musicals.
Oh,
You had to be a sophomore,
interesting.
junior, or a senior in order to be in music. And I was furious because I'd been doing children's theater since I was a kid myself. And I thought, why would you
Oh.
not let freshmen even audition
Mm-hmm.
for the musicals?
Mm-hmm.
So we had this amazing English teacher who said, well, you know what, we're gonna just pick a show, and it's only gonna be for freshmen.
I love that.
And you will, like, you'll be able to do, she probably won't be a full-blown musical because they couldn't get the band, they couldn't get the orchestra, they couldn't
Sure.
get the parents to like do the sets. But they said, we're going to pick a play and all the freshmen will be able to do their free. So my freshman year, we got to do.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And the great thing about that too, it was 12 Angry Jurors.
Really?
Oh, nice.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Well,
that.
We had 4 women and must have been 8 men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 12 Angry Jurors is like it's been done for as long as the script's been done.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
the 12 Angry Women script came out
Really
pretty
early, yeah.
quickly after the stage version for 12 Angry Men, right?
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
you guys were saying.
absolutely. I really appreciate that
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
So
the
this would have been 1970.
Yeah.
'Cause I
Awesome.
was back in the high school days.
I gotta ask. I saw you do something when you said 12 Angry. You did it, and then you made a motion, a cigarette. Did they let you use fake cigarettes in your high school production? I love
Yeah, we had
I
fake
love that.
Very
we
funny
did it
picture.
in the era.
Yeah.
They wanted us to do
Sure.
it because they said we wanted it to be something
Yeah.
more theatrical.
Hmm.
So they said it was kind of cool to actually do it in the 1950s, 40s, 50s, I think. it
Yeah,
was.
Yeah.
50s.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, it was so we all
Yeah.
had fake
That's
cigarettes.
Oh,
funny.
I love that.
I'm so I know you wanted this to be a thing at first, but I'm so glad that we don't like at the I'm so glad.
That don't have the fake
I've
cigarettes.
got enough going on, man.
I was doing some math way early on when we were choosing the show. I was like, yeah,
When could we set it where
What-
smoking would still be?
Right.
but it's also like recent enough. Like, so I was thinking about the 90s, and if we're like, the New York had its first smoking ban in the early like 2000s, I think, or 90s.
I'm so glad we don't though.
Yeah, I gave up, and I was like, you know what? We will have one juror who snuck a vape in.
You could just set it in Europe. Everybody's smoking in Europe.
Yeah, well, I think that kind of
Just
goes against the point of the show, but you know,
It's
That
the
would be
British
funny.
version.
the British 12 Angry Jurors.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, and I mean, and there's I kind of miss the time because using that, there's so much you do with a cigarette.
There
Yes.
is.
That there's so many things, especially with this kind of where it's so emotional and there's so much
Mhm.
driven and there's so much everyone who lights somebody's cigarette, who puts
Right. Who
puts it out,
shares?
yeah. We even then we were like we were how old was I, 14?
Yeah, 14,
14
15.
would have been
Yeah.
Freshman year.
And of course we were all smoking anyway because back then it was
Back then,
it was the
everybody
70s.
did,
Everybody, and our parents smoked. Everybody had
Mhm.
cigarettes. So we'd even tried to like say, can we just really smoke real cigarettes? They're like, no, that's a
No.
big fire hazard.
Yeah.
And you can't. But we actually bought the ones that you blow out.
Oh, sure.
Mhm.
So it looked like people
There's
were smoking.
actually smoke.
Yeah, so we didn't want the fake candy ones. It's like
No.
those are ridiculous. But we actually had the ones where you could puff and the little ember would light on the end of it. It was pretty
That's cool.
Well,
Yeah.
Not to get like too acting theory, but like the Hagen like have an activity to do. Who was I talking about with this? recently.
I mean, you told the whole cast of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
things we can do like while we're sitting
Yeah.
there.
Business,
Like
stage
Yeah,
like
business.
things things that you're doing
Mhm.
because we're not smoking. We
Yeah.
have to come up with other things like
Doodles,
doodling, tapping your pencil, that type of stuff.
pulling
So
your hair back every
Yeah.
once in a while, biting your nails,
Mhm.
right?
yeah,
Maybe you're drumming.
yeah,
Any number of things, right? And it's also a showcase into like, who are these people
mhm,
and why are
Right.
they acting this way,
mhm.
and what's their baggage, you know? And that's all of that's just, it's the detective work. The detective work is the thing that has been so delicious about this show. Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah.
Cool. I can't wait to see it. I think it's really great. Make sure you go to the Bartel, get tickets now. Tickets are very limited because your seating is very limited.
Yes, it is.
And I know pretty much, I would say 95% of your cast. I know we just
That's great.
met.
Yeah, we've got
I've
some
heard of
Bartel
your work.
We do.
newcomers.
Yeah, we do have some newcomers, which is
Yeah,
super fun.
So that'll be really interesting. So
Mhm.
thank you both for coming today.
Yeah, thanks
Really
for having
enjoyed it.
us.
Have a great time with the rest of your rehearsal period. Have a great
you.
tech week and a great opening. And thank you for coming today.
Thanks,
And thank
Michael.
you for joining us. And we'll see you next time on Showbiz Buzz with Bruno. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Brett. Thank you, Gin Chocolate Bottle Rockets. And we'll see you next time.
Appreciate it.